Ambassador Jeremy Zakharov is Deputy Chief of Mission at the Israeli Embassy in Washington. I suggested to him that the increasing number of rockets being fired at Israel showed that their tactics were counterproductive.
Well, this is part of the problem that we're dealing with. Let's not forget that there was a ceasefire up till around December the 19th, and up to even before that, Hamas began to undermine the ceasefire and to continue to fire rockets at an amazing rate every day. And there's a limit to how much Israeli people can be left in shelters and left under the threat of these rockets. And these rockets are indeed extending themselves and becoming far wider range. That's why Israel can't just simply sit back and close its arms and not do anything to protect its citizens.
So are the military commanders in a bit of a rush then, because they can see that there's a new president heading towards the White House, and Barack Obama cannot sit on his hands and allow Israel to continue like this in the first days of his presidency, can he?
This is totally untrue. We have responded to the attempt by Hamas to undermine the ceasefire. We cannot allow a situation to be perpetuated whereby our citizens will continue to be targeted.
This is not your land, it belongs to these families.
And as I said, we were willing to have the ceasefire before, and we were interested in maintaining it. It was, again, the Hamas that undermined it.
The latest figures are that there's one Israeli dead. Tragic, that is, but hundreds of people on the Palestinian side are dead. What resonance, then, can the international community hope to have with the government when you continue with this disproportionate response?
Well, first of all, I take issue with the numbers that you've cited. We have, as I said, tried as much as possible to target exclusively in a pinpointed way Hamas troops and assets to the greatest extent possible. We regret any loss of life to civilian citizens as a part and as a corollary to these actions, and we've tried to reduce them to the greatest extent possible. But our aim has been to confine that attack to as much as possible to the firing of rockets and their ability of Hamas to maintain this barrage of Israeli cities. And don't forget, this is not something that has happened over the last 2 or 3 days. This is something that's happened over the last 8 years. We've been subject to over 8,000 mortar and rocket attacks over the last years and have shown every measure of restraint we could until we were left with no other choice but to act in order to neutralize the threat.
Throughout history, people have harmed, oppressed, and even exterminated others in the name of God. How is it that religion can be used to justify such violence?
There's an expression that God gave humans the truth. And then the devil said, let's organize it, we'll call it religion.
It is not the religion that has caused problems. It is the practitioners of religion that has caused problems.
It really angers me because of the fact that this has nothing to do with faith. It is like misusing the great motivating force of religion. This is really the vested interest of some self-seeking individuals who are making life miserable.
There are always people in every religious system who don't want to be compassionate, and they would rather be right. That's a great temptation for religious people.
And anybody who doesn't agree with you, then they're outside. They're cast out into outer darkness, and you won't have anything to do with them, and you fight against them. And that's really not the way God created the world, I think. We are called to have a much broader view